guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you are new. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing 4 super easy dinner recipes with you. So all these recipes are quick, easy. You can make them when you get home from work, which is what I personally do. I am a full-time working mom, so I'm always looking for recipes that is easy for me to just come home and have dinner on the table. So if you want to know what I made for dinner this week, then just keep watching. Okay, so this first meal is Italian chicken and potatoes. This meal came together super quickly and I'm going to show you how I did it. So first I'm getting started by washing up some potatoes. I am deciding to leave the peels on because I just wanted it to be quick and easy this night. And then I'm chopping up those potatoes in uniform pieces, making sure that they're all about the same size, and throwing them into a 9x13 greased casserole dish. Now I'm going to get started on seasoning them. So I'm just spraying them with some more olive oil so the seasoning will stick, seasoning with some salt, and then the Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse seasoning blend. This seasoning blend is so good. I've seen a ton of YouTubers use it and I highly recommend. It's about $4 at Walmart if you can find it. So I'm just going to stir up those potatoes, and then we will add some more of that seasoning or the olive oil spray on top. Just make sure that everything is coated because you want everything to cook evenly. Now I have a whole stick of butter here. I'm just gonna chop it up into about 8 pieces or 8 tablespoons. I'm just gonna layer this butter on top of the potatoes, just about 6 pieces, and then you can reserve a couple for the chicken. But this just gives it really good flavor and it makes sure that the potatoes are super tender. So here I have a packet of the Italian dressing seasoning, and this is the star of the show. This is what makes it so yummy. And then now I have 2 chicken breasts that I have cubed up. You can either cube it up like this, or you can leave it in breasts. If it's in breasts, it'll just take a little bit longer to cook. But I like doing this because you can evenly distribute the chicken and it gets all of the good juices as well. And then here I am just reserving the butter I'm just putting the butter that I reserved over the top of the chicken. We're gonna cover it with aluminum foil and bake it in the oven at 425 for about 25 minutes. Okay, so here's what it looks like when it came out of the oven. It's gonna be super hot, so be careful. I burned myself with the steam, so that's why there's a little bit of a lag here, but here's what it looks like. So juicy and so tender. And then we just served this with some green beans on the side. This was a hit and we did not have any leftovers. Okay, so this next night is chicken Alfredo. So I did decide to go ahead and use the Alfredo from the jar. Normally I would make my own Alfredo, but I was just wanting this week to be super easy. So I'm actually starting out by cutting up some broccoli and cauliflower and cooking that in my air fryer. It's just a little bit of oil and salt and pepper, and then you cook it in your air fryer on 300 for about 15 minutes, just depending on how done you like it. And then now I'm getting started on doctoring up this Alfredo sauce. So I've just added a little bit of milk to the bottom of that jar just to make sure that I get every little bit. I'm adding some salt, onion powder, and garlic powder, and then I'll add a little bit of pepper as well. Just doctoring it up and making it taste a little bit better. Now I'm gonna get started on the chicken. I love using this oven roasted pre-cooked chicken. You can find this in the refrigerated section at Walmart, but I'm just dumping it into a pan. I'm just gonna season with salt, pepper, I believe onion powder and garlic powder, just a little bit of each, just to give it a little bit more flavor, and all you're doing is heating this through. Okay, so now that everything is heated through, my pasta is done as well. I'm just adding the chicken to the bottom of a bigger pan, and then I will add the Alfredo sauce on top. And I actually made just a little bit more pasta than what I actually needed to. So you'll see me spoon pasta into this big dish just as much as I need. Okay, so here's what it looks like when it all came together. We just serve this with the air fryer veggies on the side. This next meal is TikTok enchiladas. Obviously, this is from TikTok, and I really wanted to try it because I have heard such good things about it. So I just made my taquitos on the side. I just cooked those in the oven at 400 for about 10 minutes. You just want to cook them about halfway through. And then I decided to serve some Mexican rice with it as well. So I've just got this rice-a-roni here. I'm just following the directions on the back of the package, toasting up this rice, and then I will add the water and let it cook through. To top the enchiladas with, I wanted to make sure that we had lettuce and tomato, so I am just chopping and washing up some iceberg lettuce and then chopping up some tomato for my husband. I am not a big tomato fan, but my husband is. So now that the enchiladas are ready, I will put a little bit of sauce in the bottom of this pan, make sure that the bottom is all coated so that the enchiladas do not stick to the bottom. And then we're basically just going to lay all the taquitos on top of the enchilada sauce and layer the enchilada sauce on top of the taquitos just like regular enchiladas, and then top it with some cheese. And we're gonna bake this in the oven on 400 for about 10 minutes. All you're doing is heating it through and melting the cheese. So I will tell you right now, this meal was so good. The addition of the lettuce and tomato and then sour cream just made it feel like regular enchiladas. And the taquitos you can find in the freezer section at Walmart, and it all came together super well and everyone loved it. So here I am just finishing up my Mexican rice. We love rice-a-roni. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my taquitos. Here's what they look like. They look so yummy. I would highly recommend trying this recipe if you are able to. Okay, so this last recipe is Copycat Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches in the air fryer. So I'm just getting started by making the marinade. So I've actually got some pickle juice here that I made from TikTok again. You just put a little bit of ranch seasoning in it, and you have ranch pickles basically. But I'm just using the rest of that and then about a cup of buttermilk, just whisking that together, and then we will marinate our chicken in this mixture. Okay, so it is the next day, and I've just got 2 stations here. So I'm gonna do an egg wash, just 1 egg, which is a little bit of water. You just wanna whisk that together really well. And then for the flour mixture, I will leave the actual recipe that I used down below for you. Sorry about my daughter. She likes to help me in the kitchen, and seems like she's constantly in front of the camera. But I'm just seasoning the flour that we can dip our chicken in. So now that my little station is set up, I'm gonna start by dipping the chicken into the flour first, and then the egg, and then back into the flour. You're just basically creating a crust. And then this will go in the air fryer on 380 for about 15 minutes, just depending on how big your chicken breasts are. Mine were a little bit thinner, so they did not have to go quite that long, but I did go ahead and invest in a meat thermometer for this specific recipe, and I will use it in other recipes as well, but I went ahead and did that. So you want your chicken to come to 165 and just make sure that it is consistently at that temperature. So with this, I decided to make one of these Knorr pasta sides. So I am just following the directions on the back of the package. Just heating up some water and butter. You're gonna want to bring that to a boil and then adding your noodles, and it's gonna want to boil for about 7 minutes, I believe, just basically until it's done. But we love these Knorr pasta sides. They only cost $1 at Walmart, and it's such an easy side for dinner. So here I am just flipping the chicken halfway through. This was a little bit hard to work with, and the recipe actually said to use parchment paper, but I did not have any, and honestly I probably wouldn't have used it anyways, but it was a little bit hard to work with. The breading just did not want to stick to the chicken, but it was still really, really good. If you like Chick-fil-A, I think that it was a pretty good copycat recipe. So for our buns, I decided to get some potato buns. I actually ordered brioche buns, but they substituted the potato buns, but I think it was really, really good. After it was all said and done, I ended up having one sandwich and my husband had 3. So I would say that it was a pretty good hit. Okay, so here's what it looks like. We just put a piece of cheese and some mayonnaise on our sandwich, and we serve this with pineapples and that Knorr pasta side. That's gonna be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.